Now the interviewers have to evolve with the candidates because it's no longer good enough for them to just ask everybody like, hey, walk me through $10 of depreciation on the 3 statements. So one thing that a lot of candidates don't realize is that the investment banking interview has actually been evolving over time. Okay, the concepts that are getting tested on, those haven't really changed because it's still the same things that you need to know in terms of, the 3 financial statements, valuation, mergers and acquisitions, leverage buyouts, things like that. The topics haven't changed. The degree of difficulty, however, has actually increased over time. Like back when I graduated in 2008, we're talking 12 years ago, back in those days, if you just knew the basics for these technical questions, you were in good shape, right? And then I think like right around that time, or maybe shortly thereafter, after me graduating, like Wall Street Oasis and Mergers and Acquisitions and some of these popular websites out there, they published their interview guides, right? And then they also published, they released a lot of their financial modeling courses. And then so over time, initially, if you were one of the first people who got your hands on those guides and you read those guides and you knew the answers to the questions in those guides, you pretty much were ahead of everyone else, and that gave you a leg up on the competition, right? The problem is, over the years, those guides have pretty much become like the de facto standard. Like everybody or anybody who's serious about recruiting for investment banking, they have those guides, right? Everyone's using them. Everybody's reading the same answers. Everybody's memorizing the same 400 questions or whatever. And so nowadays, the candidates are a lot more prepared than they were back in the days, back in my days, right? Now the interviewers have to evolve with the candidates because it's no longer good enough for them to just ask everybody like, hey, walk me through $10 of depreciation on the 3 statements, right? Like, or asking just some of these questions that they know are already in the guides, because nowadays, if as an interviewer, if you ask these questions, pretty much most of the students are going to be able to answer that. And so it doesn't really help them distinguish between the good candidates and the bad candidates. And so as a result of that, they have to raise the bar. They have to start asking harder questions. In fact, what they've done, and nowadays, and also like with the elite boutiques especially, right, which are some of the hardest banks to get into because they're the highest paying, they're the most exclusive, you get the most responsibilities. But like some of these elite boutique banks, like they're starting to, and even bulge brackets too, but they're starting to ask more and more like case study type questions or application questions where you can no longer memorize the answers to these questions. You're actually having to truly understand the concepts. You have to internalize everything. You have to be able to apply these concepts to a real life situation. So for example, one of the questions that one of my clients got at a bulge bracket interview was they put an income statement and a balance sheet for a fictitious company in front of her. Okay, no cash flow statement. They just give you 2 statements. And then instead of asking you like, oh, how does XYZ transaction flow through the 3 statements, they gave her 3 years of historicals, 5-year forecast for a fictitious business. And even though she's looking at these statements for the first time ever, she had to react on the spot to questions like, look through every single line item and tell us what you see, right? Or what stands out to you? Does anything look weird about what's going on? How is this business doing? Are they healthy? What industry do you think this company is in, right? And very open-ended questions like that leave a lot of room for interpretation. And that's where the really good candidates will come up with a much better and much stronger answer than a candidate that's not so good, right? Because that's where really they can separate everybody and the cream rises to the top, right? Now, for you to really be able to do or answer that type of question on the spot, you can't memorize the answer to that. You've never seen these numbers before, right? You have to really truly understand all the interplay between the income statement and the balance sheet, and also even with the cash flow statement, which they didn't provide you, but you can actually derive the cash flow statement with just the income statement and the balance sheet. And so the point is, that's how hard these interviews have become, and it's raised the bar for everybody, right? So nowadays, if you have the guides, that's just the bare minimum. Everybody has the guides, but that's not enough. If you're just memorizing these guides, it's not going to be good enough for you to stand out on a technical basis from everybody else. You have to get to the point where you understand everything conceptually. You can actually teach it to other people. And that's honestly how we work with all of our clients. Like, we want to get them to the point where they can actually teach other people these concepts. And if you can get to that level, then you know that you've truly internalized this knowledge. And that's when you know you've been prepared for this interview. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're looking for more customized advice that's tailored for your specific situation, then I invite you to book a free strategy session with our team at the link below. We'll talk to you soon.